Okay, so boom! The scene kicks off with Thou Who Shall Not Be Named and Naruto confronting Sai, demanding to know what exactly Danzo has planned now that he's the self-appointed Hokage. Unfortunately for them, Sai tells him that he can't say a word about his plans, not because he doesn't want to, but because he physically cannot. This man Danzo done put a curse mark on his tongue, paralyzing bro if he spills any of his secrets. Now I do hate Danzo just as much as the next guy, but I can't lie, he low-key cooked with this one. This nigga took zip it, lock it, and put it in your pocket to a whole nother level. There will be no rats on his watch. Sai then begins to go into detail on why this curse mark is necessary, but I honestly was distracted, because can someone please tell me why? They got this man's waist snatched up like a BBL bandit. Body T-ass nigga, they knew what they were doing. And to top it off, Buddy is out here sporting a limited edition Lululemon crop sweater. He wanna be a baddie so bad. The combo then takes a turn when Sakura mentions that Danzo plans to send ninjas to eliminate Sasuke, but just before Sai could answer, these two cloud ninjas pull up out of nowhere pointing a sword to Sakura's head. But this might have been the worst way to confront them right now. Naruto is already on hots. He just got news that Danzo gave the okay to take out his boyfriend, so that man in the blink of an eye grabs Sai's sword and swats that sword away. He then tries to elbow Omoi, but Buddy blocks it with his sword handle, so Naruto quickly boots up old Reliable. But mid boot up, Karui hits this clean ass roll over Omoi while this man says, "Don't kill him."
I know.
Get a load of this guy, she got confidence the size of her husband. Naruto's shadow clone appears just in time to catch her sorry ass sword swing, but just when I thought they were about to cook, Sakura does what she does best and ruins the team's momentum. He pow both her and Sai ran around at the same time. Sai on one hand immediately gets busy by trying to kick Omoi in his head, but Buddy did not need a scouting report to fish out the weakest link. He can smell the uselessness oozing from her pores, so he dodges that kick, then uses Karui's back to catapult his feet into Sakura's head. So Karui elbows Naruto's clone in the neck while the real Naruto rushes over to catch Sakura. And just like that, the squabble was brought to a halt because this waste of space can't hold her own. It's like every single time she comes on the screen, she disappoints me. I never want to see this. Hold on. Why am I yelling? Blocked. I choose peace. The two ninjas then start listing their reasons for attacking them, yelling and screaming about how Sasuke kidnapped their master, and now she's pointing her sword at them again, forcing them to give up any info they have on Sasuke. But Naruto is not no rat. Whatever information you got, he's gonna make sure to keep it safe. Sorta like today's video partner, NordVPN. Imagine you're at a Starbucks or a McDonald's, for my fellow Dons who refuse to pay $13.99 for a Coco Moco latte, and some dude in the corner is working his hardest to steal your bank info. But lucky for you, NordVPN has your back. With NordVPN, you can secure all your devices with one account, browse at lightning speed, access thousands of servers worldwide so you can stream safely from anywhere, and most importantly, protect yourself from hackers trying to snatch up your precious data. Now here's where it gets even better. Nord's threat protection doesn't just guard your connection, it blocks malware, trackers, and shady websites before they can even touch you. You can actually see threat protection working in real time. It's basically like a digital bodyguard swatting away any scam attempts to keep your info safe. So don't let sketchy Wi-Fi clowns run off with your data. Hit up nordvpn.com/KAGETHEDON. Link will be in the description and the pinned comment. Plus, with the exclusive creator deal, you get a 2-year plan and 4 extra bonus months. Risk-free with the 30-day money back guarantee. Again, shout out to NordVPN for partnering with me on today's video. Now let's get back to the hand. Naruto then tells them all he can without giving up his comrades, stating that the Akatsuki is his op too. He also lets them know that if Sasuke's working with the Akatsuki like they say he is, then he was most definitely taken alive. But that info was unfortunately not enough, because this bitch says,
Come along with us and tell us. was all about Sasuke.
Look at Naruto mustering up the courage not to smack the red off this woman's scalp. Fortunately, he resisted the urge because he knows the feeling of losing a master, so he willingly goes with them to talk. But to my dismay, there wasn't much talking being done, because when the cameraman cut to the next scene, this dirty grouch got our goat pressed up against the wall while her elbow is on his throat. Now this would have been my last straw, cause I'm not going through any of this for a nigga that wouldn't give me a pot to piss in. Talking about some, I won't sell out Sasuke like this. Sasuke is my best friend. And those last 4 words were exactly why I felt little remorse while watching what happened to him next. This lady then chin checks Brody to the ground, gets on top of him, then starts going to Pound Town. And not that type of Pound Town, you little freak. She is punching this man so hard that she's starting to break a sweat. And to make things worse, Sai is over there in the back hiding behind a tree just watching his face get rearranged. That man refused to get a drop of blood on that Lulu. Fast forward a little bit, and this girl had beaten Naruto so bad that she has to stop and catch her breath. Now from that fact alone, I knew she did a number on him. And when the camera panned up, we see this man severely beaten and battered face up close in 4K. And goodness gracious, she did not hold back a single punch. Nigga's left eye is completely shut and his left cheek is now the size of Choji's. They got me, cuz. Ass face. You think with a face like that Karui would be satisfied, but this demon still wants some more and throws another punch right at him. But luckily for Naruto, Sai finally decides that enough was enough and flew in to block that punch. She was still so mad that she tried to punch him too, but her comrade knew that she was doing way too much at this point, so he caught the other one, forcing her to calm down. So Naruto drops to the ground all swollen and beaten, concluding the end of this little bout. Now in the grand scheme of Naruto, this may have been just another selfless Naruto moment, but if that was me, that pummeling alone would have been enough to start a generational beef with every Cloud Ninja alive. Sadly, Naruto didn't decide to hold a grudge, but I'm sure this humiliating moment made these next 2 victories against 2 of the most goated Cloud Shinobi a whole lot sweeter. The scene kicks off with Naruto and Killer Bee sprinting to the battlefield. Using his 9-tailed chakra cloak abilities, he can sense that all the allied forces are getting worked right now. So in a true protagonist fashion, he's on his way to save the day. But before they could get any closer, Lady Tsunade and the Raikage jump in front of them to stop them in their tracks. Naruto and Killer Bee are both in shock, but for different reasons. Naruto's confused as to why they're stopping them in the first place, but this man Killer Bee is just mesmerized by Tsunade's big bazookas. There's a whole war going on, and this is what he's focused on? Hey, he just like me for real. His brother snaps him out of his trance, and Killer Bee justifies the staring by saying, I promise I meant no offense. It's just that the Hokage's jumps are definitely a myth. Here he go with them garbage bars, y'all. This gonna be a long video. The Raikage cuts straight to the chase by letting them know that they're there to stop them. He talking about some, you will not pass. Boy, he wanna be the grumpy old troll from Dora so bad. That troll wouldn't let nobody pass without solving one of his riddles. Riddle me this, B. Who's pushing 40 with a failed rap career? You are. But he's still rapping like he's trying to get signed. You need to sign one of these. The Raikage then gives his specific reason for stopping them, stating that if the enemy catches them, the jutsu will be complete. But Naruto's not trying to hear none of that nonsense. He refuses to let ninjas die for him, so he's getting to that battlefield one way or another. But the Raikage's stubborn ass refuses to listen to him. He's just over there barking at, about to pop a blood vessel. You know someone's big mad when they start spitting while they're yelling. Calm down. Naruto realizes he's not getting anywhere with this old fart, so he jumps up to go around him, but in the speed of light, the Raikage is right in his face. Naruto's shocked that the Raikage can even keep up with him in this form, but before he could even think of his next move, the Raikage balls up his fist and sends Naruto crashing back to the ground. Naruto managed to somewhat block that blow, but he still somehow slid 10 feet across the ground. The power in that punch must have been real concerning, because Naruto doesn't even try to run again. He just stares for a second, then turns to Tsunade to try and get her on his side, but her and her milkers are not going. She lets him know that her and the 5 Kage already agreed on keeping him off the battlefield, so there's nothing that she can do now. So Naruto accepts her answer and decides that the only way is to force himself through. Naruto then tries to juke out the Raikage, but the Raikage's on him like white on rice. Out here moving like prime Deion Sanders, he's glued to that man's hip. The Raikage then starts flexing on Naruto by saying there's no shinobi who's faster than I am, not since the 4th Hokage died. And that sentence right there piqued Naruto's interest, so the Raikage continues to talk about it. But the conversation takes a hard left turn when he says, "Your dad was an amazing guy. But even with all his power, why is he not here to help?" The latter part of that sentence definitely struck a chord because he quickly cuts off the Raikage, talking about some
Don't talk about my father.
and that right there is how you know it's about to get real serious. Naruto continues to try and plead his case, but the Raikage's done arguing with this child. So in the most unnecessary way possible, this man yells and says, "If you continue to insist on going, I will kill you right here and now." Nigga, what? We're taking it too far now. B, get your psycho brother. See, I knew he was crazy just off his mustache. Who the f has 2 pieces of hair on the side but nothing in the middle? What is that even called? The Raikage's threat was so out of pocket that even Tsunade steps in to say no. But the Raikage's not hearing anyone out. He means business. Naruto refuses to back down, so he gets ready to bust out a jutsu. But before he could activate it, the Raikage comes flying in with a punch. But Killer Bee's finally had enough, so he jumps into blocking. The Raikage's stunned that his brother would defy him like this, so he asks him why he chose not to listen. So B explains to him that killing Naruto is like killing him. He says some other stuff, but honestly I tuned it out, cause the message was delivered in another one of his corny raps. But whatever he said clearly had Naruto touched. Tsunade tries to intervene by saying he can't just act on his own without the approval of the other 5 Kage, but this maniac says he'll do anything to protect the shinobi world, even if it means killing his own brother. And it was with that line that I knew they were gonna have to jump his ass to get past him, cause he's not messing around. While him and Killer Bee are still having a heart-to-heart, Naruto tries to catch him off guard and sneak past him, but the Raikage spots him, quickly rushes in, then punches him right back to where he came from. Now you'd think after getting cut off 3 times, this man Naruto would come up with a different plan, but instead this peanut brain says, "I'll try again." And of course, the Raikage cuts him off yet again and punches him right into the ground. But before Naruto could even make contact with the dirt, Killer Bee comes charging in and attempts to hit the Raikage with his lariat. But the Raikage got a strong ass neck. His neck game is no joke, so he just absorbs the contact, stares at B, then chops the hell out of his back. The Raikage dashes in to knock some sense into Naruto, but he doesn't make it very far because Killer Bee grabs him with his tentacle before he could even reach him. Naruto thinks he's in the clear to get by him now, so he quickly jumps in the air, but the Raikage refuses to give up that easy. So he grabs Killer Bee's tentacle and throws him at Naruto, sending them both crashing into the ground. The Raikage then rushes back into position, making sure to not leave an opening. And to ensure all of his bases are covered, he even yells at Tsunade to come and help. This man got some nerve. You just said you're gonna kill Naruto if he keeps trying to get by you, and you expect her to just happily aid in the execution of one of her hidden leaf shinobi. Nah, this nigga's brains must be on too tight, cause this makes no sense. And speaking of not making sense, why are you out here wasting chakra fighting 2 of your own? We got dead niggas wreaking havoc and y'all wanna have a civil war? Use your brain. Hearing the Raikage threaten to pack up Naruto triggered a Naruto flashback, and that's when we see memories from when Naruto protected Lady Tsunade from Kabuto. This flashback alone was enough to snap Lady Tsunade back to her senses, and now she's standing face to face with the Raikage to help Naruto and B pass. The Raikage proceeds to ask her why she's switching up, and that is when she gives the same exact explanation I just gave, basically saying that they should use every weapon they have, including their Jinchurikis. Oh my god! Wow! So we do have brains. My thing is though, was this not a counter argument that was brought up at the meeting? You're telling me one man just said, "I got an idea, let's lock up the Jinchurikis the whole war," and y'all were like, "Shit, that sounds good to me. I'm just trying to go home for real." Shaking my head, y'all gotta do better. While the Raikage's still pressing Tsunade for switching sides, Killer Bee charges at him and tries to hit him with that same lariat again. And of course, the Raikage's thick neck eats that blow like a 4-for-4 Wendy's meal. The Raikage then goes in for a punch to the gut, but so does B, so they both end up pounding each other at the same time.
What did you say?
Pound, fist, pound. They then both jump back and exchange more words. They basically still having the same argument over and over and over again. The Raikage is telling him to back down and B is refusing. Killer Bee's tired of the talking, so he runs towards the Raikage again, but the Raikage's done going easy on him, so he sprints towards him ready to go lariat for lariat. They finally clash, both arms at each other's throat, and for a second, neither of them move, until finally we see the Raikage go flying back into a boulder. Yes sir, that's what we like to see. Show him that you big B. Lay that old armless crippled nigga on his ass. What? Oh, was that too far? Killer Bee then starts going on and on about memories that they both share, trying his best to soften the 4th Raikage up. He not slick, he really trying to pull off the Talk No Jutsu special, and Naruto's over there in the back watching him, looking like a proud auntie. From the looks of it, B was making pretty good progress with the Raikage, but one of his garbage bars must have rubbed him the wrong way, because mid-sentence, the Raikage gets up and hits him with a nasty back fist. Oh nah, he was pissed off bad. Look at him. He was praying for that man to shut up. Back fisted him so hard he started coughing up blood. B goes sliding across the ground, and that's when the Raikage gets up and gets ready to reach his top speed. Tsunade sees him gearing up to charge at Naruto, but she refuses to let the Raikage pack him up. So unsurprisingly, she pulls out this familiar phony hero move, talking about something. You're gonna have to go through me first. Tsunade, give it up. We're not buying it no more. You pulled this same stunt when Pain destroyed the leaf, and then you proceeded to let Naruto tell you to go to the bench. You are not trying to get busy for real. I don't know, something about her just gives me a hold me back type energy. Naruto should have let her stand on her word this time. As soon as she starts with the theatrics, just let her act out the whole scene. But you're gonna have to go through me first. Yeah, go ahead, Tsunade, get that nigga. Oh, maybe we could, She's gonna start shaking in her boots real fast. Unfortunately, Naruto bails her out yet again and charges in before she could even make a move. He dashes to the far right, hoping that it'll be fast enough to get through the gap, but within milliseconds, the Raikage is in his face, ready to pin his junk against the large rock. The Raikage extends his fist, and from the looks of it, Naruto is finished. The next thing we see is the Raikage's punch connecting, and the giant boulder begins to crumble. One thing about the Raikage, he does not miss much. So for that punch to disintegrate that boulder, I knew Naruto's head must have been busted wide open too. But to my pleasant surprise, we see this man teleport behind the Raikage talking about some I cannot fail. Okay, young prince, moving at the speed of light. He trying to be just like his dad. Just don't end up completely like him. Killer Bee and Tsunade are both shocked that Naruto was able to dodge the Raikage's attack, but in the most hater way possible. The Raikage laughs and says, My attack was simply a test. I wanted to gauge your abilities. Boy, stop it. This is that old head energy. I'm telling y'all, they cannot accept defeat. The day I beat my uncle in a race, he was talking about some Hey, I let you win, nephew. You did not let me win nothing. Please stop the lies. Naruto's not hearing the BS either. Peep the side eye he gives him. He knows he's lying about that was just a test. You was just trying to end it. Naruto and Killer Bee inevitably get the okay from the Raikage to pass, thus putting an end to this petty squabble. Overall, a very avoidable fight. As much as I love the Raikage, his stubbornness got on my nerves as usual. Tsunade's pump fakes were successful yet again in convincing the crowd that she was actually about that action. Killer Bee's attempt to talk no jutsu was almost successful. And of course, Naruto proved himself to be one of the fastest shinobi alive. The fight starts off with the third Raikage already on some disrespectful time. Immediately, we see Tenkuna hit the ground, and before the Raikage even reveals himself, he says in the most frustrated, annoyed voice, "Who are you aiming at?" He spawns in, and you can immediately tell that he's fed up, arms crossed, and not a single smile on that face. You know your opponent is something devious when he's mad that you're weak. The NPCs are already ready to give up. They over there talking about some, what can we do? He's just too fast for our attacks. Yeah, buddy not slick. He just wanna go home. He wants zero smoke. He kinda like me for real. But the Raikage not letting them get off that easy. So he tells them exactly what to do to take him down. Bruh, y'all can't be serious. You bumps out here throwing kunais wondering why I'm still standing? When has kunais ever worked? Use your common sense. What you need to do is use wind style. Tamari hears the words wind style and her ears perk up. She immediately whips out that big ass fan. Now listen, I'm a fan of Tamari, no pun intended. I seen how she mixed up Tenten with that fan in the Chunin exams. But this is not Tenten. This is a 6'8" prime Mike Tyson with a blonde wig install. That junk is not going to work. But nonetheless, her and the other two sand ninjas wave their big ass fans, sending a violent gust of wind straight at Mike Tyson. But he doesn't move an inch. He just lets the wind hit him. He falls back a little, so they rush to try and catch him off guard. But all of a sudden, we see two sand ninjas get thrown to the ground. As the smoke clears, we see the third Raikage standing there unfazed with a couple cuts that immediately heal. So now it is safe to say that that junk did in fact not work. All of a sudden, this S-tier glazer comes out of nowhere to give them the rundown on the third Raikage. He talking about some, my glorious handsome Raikage was not only blessed with speed and power, but also a fat monster. Basically, he telling them they need a more powerful wind user because he's not regular. This man somehow managed to survive 3 days and 3 nights in a 10,000 V1 before succumbing to his injuries. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I am a very efficient man. If I hear that my opponent was holding his own in a 10,000 V1, I'ma let everyone know right then and there. I cannot help y'all. You got the wrong shinobi. You're wasting a roster spot. Like, y'all gotta find another plan. Cause I could never be one of the we gotta try anyway type ninjas. I'm more of a pack it up, y'all, let's go. Bro, look at his character build. Look at his hairline. That's a hairline of age and wisdom. He's been through some stuff. I'm not playing with him. But Tamari cut from a different cloth, I guess, so she steps up to the plate. But right before she could sacrifice her life, my My boy Naruto pulls up in that Kurama chakra mode to save the day. I know y'all see the drip, he looking like a fluorescent light bulb. This man got everybody shook, but he didn't even come to just stunt for real. He was really ready for action because he immediately jumps in the air and boots up a fat Rasen Shuriken. He cocks that thing back like LeBron on a tomahawk dunk and sends that junk right at the third Raikage, but he somehow dodges it. Blazer down there sweating while saying,
No, that still isn't good enough.
Not with his cloak of lightning. But Naruto's like,
Yeah, I know.
this man is on the Raikage's meat heavy. Like, we get it, he nice, but can you let the man cook down? Naruto already knows that the Raikages are fast as hell, so he used his Kurama arm to send his Rasen Shuriken flying from behind. See? This why you need to shut up and watch Naruto work. The Rasen Shuriken looks like it's about to split the third Raikage in half, but the Raikage notices it at the last minute and hits the cleanest 360 side flip I've ever seen. Okay, I see why Glazer on his hands and knees for this man, because that junk was Mr. Clean. Brolic niggas should not be able to move that fast. Imagine a 364-pound old lineman with a 40 time like Tyreek Hill. Oh nah, I'm calling the SWAT team and locking him up. Before the Raikage can even land, Naruto rushes to the ground to retrieve his Rasen Shuriken. He grabs it and then puts it straight to the stomach of the Raikage, which causes a fat explosion. Everyone out there is impressed. Jaws are dropping to the floor, but the job is not finished. So Tamari sends in the sealing unit to seal him up for good. But midway through the wrap-up, the Raikage, no Mr. Shaboing Boing gotta take it one step further. He talking about some, my Lord Third, you're so strong that frankly it's frightening. Brother, if you don't take his meat out your mouth. Now the Raikage's back on his feet, already healed up from the blow. Naruto's stunned that the Rasen Shuriken didn't work, but he knows something's off. Glazer Man runs to Naruto and says that the look in the Lord Raikage's eyes changed a moment ago, so he knows he's been taken over completely. If I'm Naruto, I'ma take his word, cause I'm sure he knows when the twinkle in his husband's eyes have changed. Like, what the f? How did he even see that? I can't even read my girl this well. He then tells them to get back and put a Earth-style wall up. So the Raikage charges at the wall. Glazer grabs Naruto like a little boy and then begins to start putting rubber on the wall. First off, call me petty, but the way he grabbed Naruto by his neck got me feeling some type of way. He grabbed him like my mom did when I used to start touching stuff in the store. That is high-key disrespectful. The Raikage begins to slice through the wall with his lightning-infused fingers, but luckily, the added layer of rubber gives them extra time. Blazer tells all the shinobi to run, but these NPC-ass shinobi start piping up talking about how they know where he's coming from, so it's time for some payback. Payback? You'll be lucky to leave with your life. I don't know who they feeling like, but they just seen this man eat a Rasen Shuriken and this violent wind blast. But they think they're gonna do some damage by charging at him with some swords? Yeah, I got nothing to say. This is stupid on so many levels. Blazer grabs Naruto and gets him to high ground. I don't even want to be nitpicky, but this is strike 2, cause you not about to keep dragging me around like I'm a baby. Naruto got patience, because if that was me, I would have let him know, look, this whole war, if you pick me up like that again, it won't just be the Raikage you gotta worry about. Matter of fact, I'm switching sides. The two of them still up there chilling. They basically just watching the Raikage terrorize the other ninjas with ease. Glazer starts giving Naruto some more backstory, informing him on how he's the only shinobi to ever face off with a tail beast unarmored and unarmed. For a second, Naruto begins to accept the fact that he's untouchable, but upon further inspection, Naruto spots a scar on his chest. Naruto then proceeds to ask Glazer where it's from, and he tells him it's from fighting the A-Tails. All of a sudden, something clicks in Naruto's head and he immediately boots up a beast bomb. Yeah, you see, that's what I'm talking about. He really about to show the Raikage something. This is how we get down in the leaf. Do not play with him. He even got the girls going crazy. You really gotta be that dude to have girls geeking over you in the middle of a battlefield. Like you're at war, locked in. But you know what? I can't blame them, because once they feel that aura is not even in their control. Come to think of it, Naruto just like me for real. I used to have the girls going crazy when I stepped on the field.
Negro, please.
Naruto's still trying his hardest to make that beast bomb. But then out of nowhere, the beast bomb suddenly dissipates, along with Naruto's Kurama chakra mode. Naruto's mad that he can't get it right, so he decides to call B for help. But before he could reach B, the Raikage spots them and destroys the giant rock they were standing on. He then goes in to knock out Naruto's front teeth, but Glazer uses his rubber ball to protect Naruto, then pulls him out from the other side. The Raikage thinks Naruto's still in the ball, so he chases after it, and this gives Naruto some time to talk to B. He manages to get in contact with B in the middle of his pee break and demands to speak with the A-Tails. But B over there being stubborn, talking about some, we're leaving 1 second. cells take concentration, so right now let me focus on my urine. Oh, will you shut up? This not the time for your whack-ass bars. Put the damn A-tails on the line. Naruto finally gets to talk with the A-tails about how he gave the Raikage that scar, but unfortunately, the A-tails does not remember much. The cameraman then cuts to the Raikage finally catching up to the ball. He cuts it in half just to find out that Naruto is nowhere to be found, so he immediately rushes back. Naruto notices the Raikage coming, so he boots up a Rasengan. But in my head, I'm thinking, hold on, that's a regular unseasoned Rasengan. You're not gonna add no type of paprika or garlic powder on it, but per usual, I gave Naruto the benefit of the doubt and let him cook. Naruto and the Raikage both charge at each other, and right before he can pierce Naruto with his lightning, Naruto weaves the attack and puts the Rasengan right in his arm, causing him to stab himself in the chest. The wound was so lethal that the Raikage begins to flake away like some dandruff on an ashy scalp. Then finally, the ceiling core wraps him up with the toilet paper and seals him away for good. Now, before Naruto gave us the explanation, I was completely lost as to how he cooked him with that move. I tried to put it together myself, but if I told you the conclusion that I came up with, you would think I rode the short bus. Luckily enough, Naruto breaks it down for us. Turns out Naruto figured out that he didn't get the scar from a beast bomb. This man got the scar from cutting himself while battling the Eight-Tails. Hey, he nice. I rep the Cloud Ninjas heavy, but hey, this is embarrassing. I see why Mr. Shaboing didn't even know that. The third Raikage was taking that to his grave. Literally.
But anywho,
I gotta give Naruto props for this high IQ play. You know you nice when even the leader of the third Raikage's fan club couldn't figure it out. Overall, very underrated fight. I low-key wish the Raikage got some more screen time, but it is what it is. Naruto obviously a GOAT, doing GOAT things per usual. Them boys stay underestimating Naruto, but he always proves why he's not a force to be messed with.
I don't really wanna know. Shorty telling me her name. I don't really wanna know. Had to wake up, go to work. I ain't really wanna go. God be with me on my side. He be with me on the low.